King.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think to start off with, it would be worth making a statement, a very common and well-used statement that is something that has been made crooked. It is hard to make it straight. And when we stop and think about those original decisions, it's easy to be wise afterwards, as has been communicated in this debate. But the ministerial inquiry report into the Novopay certainly does leave us with some very strong messages. And as the member for the Kaikoura electorate, I want to say a special thank you to the teachers and to the principals, boards of trustees of the 36 schools that have had to endure this whole process that, once it started rolling out, has been an incredibly bumpy ride, to say the least. The ministerial inquiry certainly has taken its toll when you stop and think that we no longer have either of the two secretaries with the ministry. The problem with Novopay has also affected the public trust and confidence in the Ministry of Education, and no doubt concerns us all as on this side of the House. The weakness of the project governance and the project leader is clearly evident that that was not adequate, and that a number of significant risks with the Ministry of Education and its vendors, including Talent 2, showed and displayed an overconfidence in approaching this situation. I would have to say that the complexity of anything like Novopay is well and beyond the member for Kaikoura. However, there are people who practice these fine arts, and everybody that goes to work in New Zealand expects on a given day, a predetermined day, that they will be paid. And for that not to happen is a disappointment and an utter failure on the part of any employer. So whatever came at the Ministry and Talent 2, they were totally unprepared for. One's thoughts do go out to those ministers that had oversight in the way that information was relayed back to them. How do you cut through and ask those searching questions and get into areas that are dark and dingy and people are espousing as being ready to go? When you talk about the school payroll, Mr. Speaker, it is complex, but that is not an excuse, because complexity in the very essence of a systems analysis should have been a fundamental part of the life cycle of development of the Novopay system. The fact now that it's extensively customised is a concern. It needs to be very quickly stabilised. It is heartening, though, to see that 0.5% of mistakes or less have been recorded over the last quarter or two. However, there's a long way to get out of the woods, and we have just got to be very, very aware of the lessons that we have learnt during this miserable process. There was no overall accountability for independent quality assurance, some very fundamental failures there. The project has cost $23.9 million more than estimated, and a total cost to date of $56.8 million. So what have we learnt? Well, we have learnt that implementing a system with the complexity of Novopay, of a payroll system involved with the education system, is incredibly difficult and high risk. So we certainly welcome, Mr. Speaker, this report on this side of the House. We offer our sincerest apologies for any difficulty and frustration and hardship that has come upon the fraternity of teachers and boards of trustees and schools as a whole. But just in conclusion, would like to make the comment, as quoted from the document, there is substantial lessons to be learnt by the Ministry of Education in a number of areas which the Acting Secretary of Education is taking steps to address. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Grant Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think it's very important just at the outset